I think we're online. Hello!
Okay, cool.
Potentially. I can't even be sure nowadays. How's it going? Give me a second. I'm gonna put the music a little bit lower because I think we can't hear dust.
What?
There we go.
Unacceptable.
I think now we have an acceptable dust volume and an acceptable me volume, hopefully. It's gonna be a little quieter when I turn away from the mic.
Volumes all around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only acceptable volumes accepted here. Alright, just gonna...
Is 2 eggs the correct choice? What does that mean?
In ramen?
Ooh, yes it is. In ramen, 2 eggs always.
As opposed to what other number of eggs? Like, is there some sort of a ratio here? Like...
like 1 egg.
Like, what are we looking for?
If you go to like a Japanese ramen place, then they give you half an egg.
Ah.
And that's unacceptable. You gotta have all the egg.
Ask specifically for all the egg. Like, just kind of put a request out there, like, hey, you know, I demand all of it.
They'll charge you like $1 per egg, dude. Like,
actually.
Some restaurants have the extra egg option, and they charge you a lot for it.
I did not know that. A whole $1? For
I know.
what egg?
It's like
what?
It's like the eggs are like $3 for a dozen.
That's crazy. Also, I will be back shortly. I gotta go close the door. I'll be right back. Yeah.
Oh, close the door. Who needs closing of doors? Alright. Guys, I have decided next stream I'm going to play Sonic Frontiers, barring any technical difficulties. So, let's get as far ahead in Potion Craft as we can today. That is the plan, currently. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. How are you guys doing?
And I'm back. Hello.
I am doing quite well.
Alright, there we go. Everything is set up now, I think. It remains to be seen whether that is true. But I guess we'll find out. And potentially all good. Technology do be shuffling around, doing its own thing, etc, etc. Okay, I think we're just gonna drag my reference image. Okay, there we go. There we go. I can see everything.
Work is causing you to scream internally. Oh no.
What's
happening to you at work?
That is unfortunate. Yeah.
Very unfortunate. Now what's going on? I hope there are fewer things to scream internally about in a bit. I am also kind of screaming internally at work, but...
Oh no.
It's okay, at least things are moving forward.
In what ways is work causing all of you to scream internally? Oh no.
Oh, work is causing me to scream internally because I'm doing a very difficult build, and well, doing a very difficult build would be like actually entertaining and relaxing for me usually, but it kind of exposes all the flaws of the design that I made, so it's not that fun.
Oof.
Yeah.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
I know. I'm just doing my best to think of it as a learning experience. I just won't make the same mistakes later. That's good. Do you have the chance to correct your mistakes in this new one as well, or is it just like a alright, too late, kind of done? Well, yeah, this one's done because it needs to be deployed, but
makes sense. Yeah, I personally have been having an alright time at work, like like, I mean, I'm doing my stuff, but like, you know, the spirit of procrastination lies within me.
Dude, you've been procrastinating for a little while now. Yesterday I heard you procrastinating on Discord.
Yeah, that was the spirit of procrastination right there.
Did I get my machine parts from the shop finally? Yes, I did. Some of them are not machine to spec, but what can I do?
Fortunately, today I did my work, so I got that going for me.
It's good.
Yay.
You kind of have to, it's a Monday.
I know, right?
But yeah, have you been working the weekends?
A little bit, but like not as much now, because we're kind of reaching our release day and things are going well-ish.
Okay.
So that's good,
That's good. I am also kind of reaching my deployment date, so...
Ooh, Nice.
I'm excited for this project to be over so that I can do the next project with less stupid mistakes. That's always a good thing to look forward to.
Ah, well. There's always gonna be mistakes around.
Yeah, the thing about, like, hardware as opposed to software. Software, you can fix mistakes instantly even after your product ships. Well, not instantly, maybe, but, you know, you can fix mistakes relatively easily. Hardware, once it's made, it's made. You can't really change much about it, so... But then the con of that is, like, hardware, if you're done with a project, then you're done, and you need to do, like, minimal sustaining. But software, it's like, you gotta... you're developing until the very end. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's still there. Things are still breaking.
It's always there. All of your projects are always there.
Yeah. And even when we finish, there's always like, oh, like there's room for improvement. Like, you may have a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, it could be better, you know? And then everyone's like, alright, I guess it could be better, you know? So like, let's do that. Yeah. In much more fun news, though, I watched the, Into the Spider-Verse sequel.
Oh, you did? I heard it was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay, well, I need to watch it. My friend said she will go watch it with me.
Nice.
One of my coworkers.
Very nice. Yeah, it was one of those movies where, like, I kind of went into it with the... Like, I was thinking, I'm like, this is gonna be good. Let's try not to get my hopes up too much, but it's probably gonna be good. And it was good. It was as good as I expected it was.
Alright. That's the best kind of movie. The one that's as good as you expect it to be.
Yeah. A generically worded summary. You are responsible for overseeing that X feature gets completed to desired direction. One of your team members is struggling to deliver. And you're getting unsolicited feedback such as, this is weird, this is a bug, this looks out of place. Oh no. That is so many things all at once. Oof.
Who is this?
I believe this is errant. Indeed it is errant.
Is that what's making you internally scream?
Yeah, this must be the...
Yeah.
This must be the source of the internal screaming.
It does indeed sound like it would induce a lot of internal screaming.
I know, right? Yeah, fortunately in my team, it's more of like, everyone is too good. Like, if you don't do something, somebody else gonna do it, and that's a problem because you don't do it, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta do stuff.
All overachievers, including you, I bet.
Nah, I'm not much of one. I'm like,
No,
I'm kind of an overachiever, but only to the extent that it's necessary. I'm not on the level of some guys. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between an overachiever and a workaholic.
Yeah. I would be potentially an overachiever, definitely not a workaholic. I tend to have hobbies as well.
Hey, Hatchet. Yeah, same. There's a guy on my team who's like constantly working and working at home because he can't think of anything else to do. Like, I can't imagine living a life like that.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, we have a person like that too. Like, they were on break for a full month. And they were working during that month. I'm like, take your break. You need this. So you're like, no, this isn't a bug, but we need concrete feedback and direction for this teammate, so you have an actual direction target for this. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, if it isn't your place and people are kind of like foisting it on you, then it's also a problem. But then if you feel like you should take it up so that you can get yourself a higher place, that's also a problem. I don't know. Things tend to compound after a bit, don't they? Also, I'm getting these weird notification noises. I hate that. Yeah, so it's all, hey, can we have direction? And then silence. Understandable. Oh no. Yeah, what is this? Oh, it's, okay, I figured it out, I think. Wait, I was wrong. What? Okay, I guess we're fine.
Was fine.
Yeah, I'm hearing these weird notification noises. I'm assuming they're coming through on stream as well, which is kind of an issue. No one's sending me anything, though. So what is it? Ghost notifications. Messages from beyond the grave.
What are you working on today?
I am drawing Best Girl from, actually one of two Best Girls. There's two Best Girls in the Zelda game I've been playing in Tears of the Kingdom. This one's the researcher one. Her name is Purah. She's really cool. She's the best. Researcher. She's so cool. She deserves more than she got, in my opinion. I think they kind of sidelined her, for reasons that make sense in the context of the game, but like, damn, you know, like they really sidelined her.
That's a mighty shame.
Yeah, oh well. But this stuff needs to get done soon, and it looks bad right now, and the longer you have to wait for direction, the closer you are to, oh gosh, to needing the crunch time to meet some random deadline. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing, right? At some point, I mean, I hate to say that it's cutting your losses, but it's more like, at some point, you just gotta be like, alright, like, this is possible to get done within the time frame we're given, and this is, like, not possible, right?
Yeah, you gotta set your boundaries and expectations.
But if someone above is not giving you direction, that's also an issue, so, I guess in that case, it's up to your initiative to shape the direction in whatever way you think is best. You already did that once, this is the reduced version. Oh no.
Oh boy.
Understandable, have a nice day. I'm fortunate that in my work, I have a boss who's kind of like they're very willing to say like, yo, this is what we're gonna do, and like, y'all higher-ups are gonna have to deal with it. Like, they set boundaries decently well.
Oh, Banana Guy Bob, thank you so much for the resub.
Oh, heck yeah.
5 months.
And since it's Banana Guy Bob, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, yes.
Yeah, I remember this at this point, yeah.
Always
heck yeah. Banana Guy Bob, have I told you already about the friend of mine? Dust has actually met this friend. My friend would say good morning no matter what time it was. So I got used to that too.
Who is this? I don't know who this is.
I codenamed this person Red. They're Green's friend. I've mentioned Green a few times, and they're also Ari's friend. So Ari, Green, Red, and I were all in the same project group.
Who's Green? I don't.
Oh, you don't Green either? Okay, you know Ari. I know you know Ari.
Yeah.
So, so Ari, Green, Red, and I were all in the same group. Yes, they were at the graduation. Yeah. This is one of the people at the graduation. I guess I can't give you more details than that, huh? Yeah, that specific person had that specific quirk, and so, it's an interesting little reminder. Maybe it's always Tuesday morning. Maybe that's what it is.
It absolutely is. Also, I can't really check it.
That's errant, isn't it?
Ooh.
I don't know how it's possible to check it, actually, but fun fact, the character in question check it, so it is possible, just not verbally. Huh? I'm drawing a specific scientist, as I said before, but the scientist in question actually in the previous game de-aged themselves to about 6 years old. So, despite being like 120-something, in the entire previous game, they were like a 6-year-old.
Okay.
And they oohed everything, and their main catchphrase is check it.
Oh, okay. Wait, how do you non-verbally ooh something?
Because the game isn't voiced, so like I mean.
Yeah, but like how?
No,
how
I mean
you...
I don't know what to say here. Like the game isn't voiced.
But like what's the ooh part of it?
Oh,
then?
I mean, well, it's the tone of like okay, like it's not voiced, but she still says things. You know what I mean? Like there's like the short little exclamations and stuff. And those are extremely oohed, because she's like 6.
Okay, exclamations? Oh, I see.
You know, like the
little noises that they make.
Yeah, there's like the random noises.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
In this game, her catchphrase is check it. Wait, did she say that in the previous game? If anyone remembers. I did not remember her saying check it in Breath of the Wild.
What does check it even mean?
I don't know. What are we checking? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but whatever it is, I'll check it. Purah told me to, so I'll do it. I simped for Purah, but only a little bit.
You gotta watch out for those slight simps.
Yeah, just like a tiny bit of simping, you know. A little bit. Enough to brighten my spirits. Okay, there we go. Also, I hate drawing legs. Am I so predictable as that? Yeah. I mean, I have connected the dots, Aaron. I know who it is. I know the truth now.
How am I on day 54 already? Well, once I got a good pace going, it was pretty fast from there.
Wait, day 54 of what?
Of this game. Like, I haven't played for 54 days. There's been 54 game days. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? What is this? My mind auto-completed to like some drawing challenge, actually. I was like, oh, what is this? Like Huevember or something? But...
Oh, I know, yeah. I used to do all the drawing challenges. I should do a drawing challenge this year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, now
It's
that
been
I
a while
actually
since
have
I
it.
did one, which is only once. I've only ever done it once.
You have done it once, though.
I did it once,
And that
this
is
is
quite
true.
the achievement.
I'm proud of myself for doing it once. I'm pretty, like, when I get things... When I get, like, an idea in my mind to draw, it takes me a while to actually draw it the way I want. I spend a lot of time on, like, the sketch.
So
And then I
drawing a
eventually get
complete
onto the
thing
final.
every day is very hard for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, 1 art a day? Like, my gosh. Because nothing looks the way I want it to until I'm, like, at least 5 hours in or something. Okay, not really. But not anymore. But it used to be. It definitely used to be.
It used to actually be. Like,
Yeah,
I would see some of your art that took like 24 hours to do.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Because I'd just be... And it wasn't even me making progress on it. It was like I'd do something, and then I'd look at it and be like, that's not right. And then I'd redo it, and then I'd be like, that's not right either. And then I'd redo it, and keeps going. Like, this specific character's leg, which I am also stuck on. Like, what? There's something wrong with it, but, like, I don't know what. Bro, I don't know. I'll just leave it.
You've been burned out of video games on Twitch. Yeah, there's times like that.
Wait,
It's
burn
okay.
down a video game? What?
No,
That's what I heard.
Banana Guy Bob is saying they've been burned out of watching video games on Twitch.
Ah.
Yeah.
Many games,
Just
many times.
understandable.
There have been a lot of great video games released in, like, the near present.
This is true.
So, understandable.
Recently, game studios have really been bringing it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's what, like Hollow Knight 2, Hades 2, there's a lot more coming too.
When is Hollow Knight 2 coming out?
Why, did they not say? I wouldn't know. I haven't even played Hollow Knight 1.
It's a meme in the community that Hollow Knight Silk Song is never gonna coming out.
They haven't even given like a release date or something? Come on. No?
It's been delayed a few times.
Okay.
And all the community accepts it because they're trying to make a good game. And
Yeah,
if
that's
it's anything
fine.
like the first one, then we're all gonna love it, so.
Exactly. Maybe by then I'll have actually played Hollow Knight. Who knows? Who knows? It's doubtful though, considering there's so many games on my list still.
This is true. Today is the 1-year anniversary of the latest Silk Song trailer, really.
Actually?
It's been that long.
It's been that long? Yeah, no way. Hollow Knight is fun. Hollow Knight looked amazing. I'll be honest, like, I looked at it.
Fun.
Yeah, I saw it while while Dust was playing it, in brief snatches, because I didn't want to spoil too much for myself, but Dust was having so much fun with it.
Yeah, it's fun, it's challenging in the best way, and it's really unique in style. It's weird and you like it that way, so I think that's like the best thing about the style of the game is it's so weird and it embraces how weird it is.
Yeah, I saw one of the, I think, stranger moments of the game, because you collected all the grubs.
Oh yeah, you were there when the dad ate the grubs.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, what the frick is going on? I didn't sign up for this. I came here to watch an honest little game about bugs having fun. No, I'm kidding. I did not come for that, but still, you know.
So apparently,
did not expect that.
That's how they metamorphose, is by being
eaten.
And
sure.
They're not like actually dead.
Oh, they're not dead. Are you sure about that? They looked dead. Do they come back at some point?
Like, hear them inside his belly, so you know.
Okay.
They're not dead.
I mean,
that's what I've been told.
Sure. This sounds like wishful thinking on the part of people who want to think that they did not just consign 100 small creatures to death.
It could be, but I think people are thinking that on the grounds of when you do that, when you reunite all the grubs with the dad and it turns out he has eaten them,
yeah.
The achievement that you get is metamorphosis, I think.
Okay. But, like, here's the question. Are you metamorphosizing the small bugs, or are you metamorphosizing the giant grub father into something even more large, grotesque, and uninteresting?
That's a good question.
This is kind of what I assumed, actually. I looked at that and I'm like, ah, shit, he's fueling some transformation. He's gonna be a final boss or something, but I have no idea what the structure of the game was, so that was completely...
It honestly could have been, and I would not have been surprised.
Oh, I see. Imagine that. You'd go through all this trouble. Rip bugs? Yeah, rip bugs, exactly. They're dead. They're gone. They're screaming in agony. That's what they're doing.
Xbox said everything revealed in that showcase... Wait. Everything revealed in that showcase would release this year, but apparently Xbox kind of forced them into... Wait, really? Oh no, they shouldn't do that. No, nothing should release too early in Silk Song.
Ooh, that's kind of an issue. Well, watch out, because what they'll do instead is they'll release the rest of the game in DLC. Paid DLC.
I know, paid DLC. that would be the worst, and I don't think it would be like what Team Cherry wants.
Buy
sure
Fire Emblem Revelations for 20 bucks. Buy 20 bucks to have your favorite characters survive the ending of this game. Get ready, suckers. It's a long-running joke in the Fire Emblem franchise that the good ending is locked behind $20 for one of the games.
Great.
And the good ending, by the way, also kills off characters. It just kills off a different set of characters.
Yeah, Headshot, I see it. Aaron T says you also have to visit the collector to even get to that part. Oh, the part where the dad eats all the grubs, yeah, which is a Soen whole thing. Yeah, you need to beat a boss to rescue one of it. Well, you need to beat several bosses to rescue some of the grubs.
I would assume you have to beat most of the game, right?
You have to do.
Yeah.
Do this a collectible thing.
Because it's like a Korok type of thing, you know? You gotta go all the places, find all the things or something, maybe? I would assume.
Yeah, you need to go all the places, find all the things, break down some walls.
Break down some walls?
Some secret walls.
Ah,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and the secret walls
Property
of Hollow Knight
damage.
are not very obvious at all. You just, sometimes you just gotta like bang on a wall and see if it breaks.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's kind of how Celeste works, although it is a little clearer in Celeste, I would like to think.
Yeah, like there's suspicious spots.
Yeah.
So actually, when I was playing Celeste, I was pretty good at finding the hidden notes because I had done something very similar in Hollow Knight. I think their way of hiding secrets is very similar.
Nice. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's kind of like the generic platformer thing. Ah, posture check.
Yeah.
Alright. Posture check.
To will be or not to will be. That is the that is the question.
Question.
Whether 'tis noble in the mind to suffer the swings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing and them to die to sweep no more woe, and by a sweep to say we end the hard take and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is arrow to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished to die to sweep for chance to dream. Aye, there's the wub.
Is this the whole thing? Did somebody redeem the whole freaking thing?
What dreams may come.
Is there a character limit on this?
I actually used to have that memorized.
Oh, hey, good times. Yeah. I've got the Romeo and Juliet one, I think. Actually, it's been a while, I've probably forgotten it. The first, like, bit, you know, the whole, like, two houses both alike in dignity, that one.
Oh, that one. I used to know the Hamlet soliloquy and then the Julius Caesar one.
Ah.
The one that you always quote.
Yeah.
Countryman, that one, yeah.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar and to praise him. Suck it, let's go for it.
Yeah, you thought it was not to praise him, but psych, I
will. Psych, I'm his biggest fan. Guess who wasn't holding a knife that day? That's right, me. Good political maneuvering, though. I gotta give him points.
Yeah.
In terms of historical political maneuvering, like that's a good one. Okay. I've got vague patterns laid out. I'll do a few more vague patterns, and then we get to move on to actual colors, which I like more than everything else. Yeah, because you know, like some of these dresses, right? They've got like vague patterns all over them.
I like how you describe them as vague patterns.
They're pretty vague, like I don't think they mean anything. I do not think there is any meaning behind these particular patterns, and yet...
Okay.
And yet, maybe there
they
is.
are strangely compelling.
But yeah, that's kind of true, TBH. Okay, I've filled in like a little thingy with vague patterns.
They sure are patterns. And they're kind of vague.
They vaguely remind me of all the content that got cut from this game because the new content takes precedence, so they had to kind of just like sideline the old guys, which makes sense, but also kind of still makes me feel a little sad. This is, after all, the first time the Zelda series is doing a sequel that's set in the same world and also features the same guy, so... They had to cut a few things.
It feels like for a franchise as old as Zelda, they should have like run out of new things to try, but absolutely not.
Yeah, for some reason they're still pulling stuff.
Yeah.
I'm kind of confused
though, you could
by
say
it.
the same thing about Sonic the Hedgehog, but Zelda doing it is, you know, good.
I mean,
a good thing, while Sonic doing it is like, oh no, what have you done this time?
Are you ripping on... No, come on. Sonic's doing its best.
It's doing its best. Critics say this new the Sonic Frontiers is almost good.
Almost
so
good,
that's a
okay.
win for us. Yeah.
I mean, that's better than bad. I'll give you that. Wow. Masco, hello, how's it going? It is indeed time to check it. What are we checking? Who knows? We're checking something. Never figured that out, actually. Like, it's a good point. What are we checking? What does she want me to check? Like, whatever it is, I'll check it, but what is it?
Her sick beats, obviously.
Her sick beats. Alright, I'm ready for the Purah rap. What are we gonna do for lighting here? Let's see. Where's the light gonna come from?
This is the baffling thing that Lynn does, where she doesn't know where her light's gonna come from, like, halfway into the drawing.
I gotta draw something first and then do everything else, haha. You know what, I'll just do the rest of the colors and stuff, and then I'll come back to it.
Yeah, and then she puts off something.
Like, and you'll never know.
Be addressed.
One day it'll become important, but it is not this day. This day we draw. Okay. The other thing I like to do, which Dust always scoffs at me for, is that I never combine my layers. But watch, I'm gonna do it this time. Gasp.
Oh yeah, I'm a big layer combiner.
Combine? Yeah, but like why? What if I want to change them later?
You can change them easily enough.
No, I can't.
It's not that much of an inconvenience.
But now things are overlapped. And now I have to like pay attention to stuff. Marshall, hello, how's it going? We are checking it today. And potentially doing this other, some more work on the Zelink artwork that I've been doing as well. I drew a really cute Zelink type of thingy, but I'm not done with it, so... Gonna do more of this. Purah is great. Purah is so cool. She got a little sidelined in this game, and for those of you who have finished the game, okay, very mild endgame spoilers. It is an endgame spoiler, but like super mild endgame spoiler for Tears of the Kingdom. For the next, like, 30 seconds. Okay, so, like, mute yourself. Yeah, when I say 3, 2, 1, mute yourself. If you don't want, like, very mild endgame spoilers. Okay, cool. 3, 2, 1. At the end of the game, they should have given Purah the Spirit Stone. I don't know why they didn't do that. It would have made so much sense. I headcanon that the Sheikah are descendants of the Zonai, and there's like a whole reason I believe that, and where it works in like certain specific circumstances. But if they were, it would make even more sense. They're technologically advanced, and Purah herself is nearly 100 plus years old, so she should have been able to upload her like conscience into a robot. Okay, done. Yeah, that's I saw that coming, and that was exactly the comment I made when I was watching the end scene. I was like, what? They didn't do this specific thing? Why didn't they do it? Alright, spoilers over. I'm so mad. They even brought her there, and then they didn't do the thing. I was like, oh, she's here. I know exactly why she's here. But it wasn't that. Okay, alright, it's okay. I'm not gonna say anything. But that's the thing.
They planned for it, but then Nintendo forced them to release her.
I mean, yes, but like, the amount of trouble it would have taken for that specific thing to have happened would have been like zero. Like, it's like an extra line for one character to say, and then like, maybe a tiny bit more animation. Which, honestly, I think, like, it would have been less animation to have the thing happen the way that I wanted it to happen. God damn it. Mute time, understandable. Yeah, if someone wants to just type in chat real quick and let people know that the spoilers are over, that's good, but also the 30 seconds have passed, so spoilers are over, folks. Too many layers gets confusing for you? That is entirely fair. For me, it's the opposite. Like,
wait, you don't title your layers, do you?
I don't title my layers. How could I?
See,
I have like 50
like,
of them.
how do you find shit?
I look at them and they look like the layer I want. Like, I don't know what you mean. You've been processing the game after beating it and have come to a sad conclusion. Oh, I have a whole set of timeline theories. So, by the way, Dust, you know how so we were supposed to have D&D yesterday, but we didn't for reasons. So instead, Ari and I met up and talked. You know what we did for the entire, 4 hours? We discussed the timeline of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, so... So Ari and I have now hashed out a series of things. I had my own theories, and Ari, fact-checked, because Ari likes disproving things just as much as I like disproving things.
Right.
So, yeah. Heck yeah. No, here's my question, because I have 2 things that I didn't knock out with Ari, so feel free to contribute to my 2 questions, okay? Well, first of all of these problems are easily solved if you just kind of assume that everything in Tears of the Kingdom Past happens after every other game. So we're not going to assume that, because that's boring. No, instead, we are going to assume that all of the stuff in Tears of the Kingdom all of the stuff in Tears of the Kingdom Past takes place before Skyward Sword. This is an idea that I think Erent also said back in the day, and I think it's way more fun, because it allows the mechanical creatures in Skyward Sword to be Zonai creations. So that's my headcanon. And I also headcanon, my specific solo headcanon is that the Sheikah are descendants of what's-her-face? Sonia and Rauru. They have white hair, they're technologically minded. Impa shows up in Skyward Sword and kind of has that vibe to them. Still of the firm belief that Breath of the Wild timeline is its own thing. That's fair, and yet there's so many references to the past. How did all those items get there? Why are also in Breath of the Wild, they specifically speak about a hero in the past defeating Ganon along with Zelda. That's clearly not Raru's time, because in Raru's time there was no Link. So who is that? You know, it's gotta be one of the other Links, in my opinion. So I say that Breath of the Wild is part of the Zelda timeline. You think you did Sheikah equals Zonai related? Okay, I'll give the credit. I don't remember exactly who came up with it, but I remember coming up with it at some point, and so it must have also been someone else. I don't know, it might have been you. I will give it to you. I don't mind. I don't necessarily mind who takes credit for things. It's just the interestingness of combining all theories. But yeah, please do take credit for something you suggested. I don't want to take credit for something that someone else suggested, but I don't mind people taking credit for my things as long as they don't tell me. I'm kidding. Okay, yeah, I mean... Someone else 100% thought of it before me, so you cannot claim credit worldwide. Fair enough. I mean, that's the thing, right? There are different things that I know I've thought of before. There are different things that I've thought of before that other people have also thought of before, and I don't remember who thought of it first. So yeah, I wouldn't, I wouldn't want to take away credit. Please give Erent the credit.
Stuff like that.
yeah. You find an answer to that hero when you complete all the shrines. I haven't done that yet, so I'm still missing info. This is true. What I'm missing is, So I'm missing all the Star Islands. I have half of them. I don't have all of them. I'm missing part of the newspaper quests, and I'm missing all the shrines reward. And then I'm missing some random stuff across the map, I'm sure. How would Ganondorf exist before Demise if it's before SS though? Haha, okay, so here's my thing. I think that the timeline works as such, and you have to kind of accept the fact that there are multiple Ganondorfs. That's the thing. And I think that some people don't like that. People like to think that, there's only one Ganondorf and it's just the guy from Ocarina of Time. But I personally have always been of the opinion that there are multiple Ganondorfs, so I'm okay with this. And the specific thing is that I don't think it happened before Demise. I think the fight Hylia versus Demise happened first, and Erent also, I think, was there for this theory, and Erent also was the one who came up with this theory or something? I don't know, we were talking about it on stream. So credit to where it's due. I don't think I came up with this on my own or anything. And Ari also had a pivotal role in some of these theories. I don't remember who exactly came up with what. But yeah, lore belongs to everyone. Exactly. I'm not taking credit for this. I'm simply spreading it. But yeah, so here's what I think happened. It's Hylia versus Demise. And then Demise gets sealed underground. And then years and years later, Rauru shows up and rules the whole, Zonai kingdom and stuff. And Sonia is there and the Hylians exist. And Hyrule gets founded, and then all of that gets wrecked, and then years and years and ages later, Skyward Sword happens, and then, Demise gets released, etc. And I also like to think that Ganon of that specific time was possessed in some way by Demise, because look at him, look at Tears of the Kingdom Ganon. That's not just Ganon, that is Demise. He looks exactly like freaking Demise. So he's got some influence from him in there, which is one of the reasons I think it ties in very well with Skyward Sword if you wanted to make the connection. Yeah, it's good stuff. Could be possible that the original Ganondorf obtaining the Secret Stone might have created Demise to begin with. Ooh, you're placing it before the entire Hylia versus... So here's the other thing. When I come up with Zelda timeline theories, I specifically try to give agency to the older games. Like, I know the usual developers, what they do is, like, they try to give agency to the newer games. Like, for example, Hylia suddenly magically created the entire Zelda franchise and did all this stuff and so on and so forth, right? And, like, that's giving agency to newer games. Versus, like, me, when I try to do things, I try to, like, oh, okay, like, I mean, yes, Tears of the Kingdom, Ganon was there, but, like, potentially was being influenced by someone from a past game, etc. Rip the Golden Goddesses, they left. The Golden Goddesses showed up, made the Triforce, and then got out of there. Oh, so Ari and I have different theories on who the dragons are, by the way. So, like, I know the popular theory might potentially be, because I think Ari may not have come up with this, I think she heard it somewhere else, but the popular theory is that Dinral, Naedra, and Farosh are, like, Zonai people who originally ate the Sacred Stones, right? And there were originally 10 Sacred Stones. But my specific theory is that the Oracles from the Oracle games, they went back in time to Minish Cap with the Harp of Ages, and then they went back further. And somehow, like, you know, after a long time, they ended up in, like, the ancient past, and they did exactly what Zelda did, and turned themselves into, you know, dragons and all. Made the Triforce, ate some fancy rocks, and lost themselves. Don't you hate when that happens? Yeah, Zeldas keep on doing this thing where they, like, imprison themselves in the past. It's just, like, a common thing. Skyward Sword, Zelda, Aurora, they've all done it. Okay, but anyways... Wait, so Dust, have you started... I'm not gonna... I'm not gonna go too far into this Zelda timeline thing, I promise. But if you have any more questions, or if you can poke holes in my theory, I appreciate it. Please do. I appreciate all that stuff.
Questions, concerns, or comments about Lynn's Zelda theories?
Then toss it at me. Dust, have you, you haven't played the new Sonic game yet, right?
I have not.
Okay. Do you have high hopes for it, considering the good critic reviews and all that? The almost good that you said. God damn it. Dust, no.
Aaron T says, I am changing this discussion to eggs, which I don't really understand. Banana Guy Bob says, egg moment. Sorry, what is this egg stuff? Oh, also... The Fitnessgram Pacer test, sorry, nice. Aaron T from 8 minutes ago, is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively becomes more difficult as it continues. The 20-meter Pacer test will begin in 30 seconds. Line up at the start. Now running speed starts slowly and gets faster each time you hear this sound. Beep. A single lap should be completed each time you hear this sound. Ding. Remember to run in a straight line and run as long as possible.
Who would win in a pacer
test?
You
fail to
Which of the champions would win in a pacer test?
The test is over. On your mark, get ready, begin.
Would Dust or I win in a pacer test?
You are allowed to unmute. The spoilers ended a while ago.
Oh, you mean on my stream? Oops.
Yeah.
I think we put it on the comments in my stream, but we may not have put it in the comments in Dust stream. Good point.
Oh yeah, no.
If they became dragons, then why does OOT say they departed? Ah, that is the goddesses themselves. So actually, so as I said, right, I'm trying not to take away agency from the old games. So, Ocarina of Time is the oldest game that mentions Din, Furore, and Nehru. It states that they showed up and that they, you know, dropped the Triforce and then they left. I agree with that. Like, I'm gonna give them all of that. Since Ocarina of Time is the oldest game that mentioned it, I want to give as much agency to that as possible. So yeah, like, the original Din and Furore and Nehru were goddesses of a higher level than Hylia. They showed up, created the Triforce, and then, like, screwed off. But in the Oracle games, there are a series of oracles. There's, like a human person named Din, and a human person named Nehru, I guess Hylian, and a Hylian person named Furore. And they are the oracles of the gods. And they also show up in Minish Cap, which takes place, like, a good 1,000 years in the past. So my specific headcanon is that the Harp of Ages takes you between the timeline of Minish Cap and the timeline of A Link to the Past era. And that they can continue using it if they want to, because Nehru, it's her little item. So yeah. Yeah, the Zonai were considered gods. Okay, so Ari and I had the same viewpoint on this because we started the game basically together, where we both kind of like started playing it and we're like, okay, like, I mean, obviously I started it on stream, but after that, like, we played the initial set of the game together, and we were both like, okay, this is cool, but like, who are you people? Like, what the frick? What are you doing? Like, why are we suddenly introduced to a new race? Which is fine, by the way. New races show up in Zelda all the time. No problem with that. That's, like, actually really fun. I love seeing the new races. But it's like, these guys were gods, and everyone loved them, and they were so cool. It's like the weird Mary Sue vibe that I never expected from a Zelda race. But that's what we're supposed to believe about the Zonai. Which is why I'm kind of slowly trying to take away agency from the Zonai, like... My specific theory is that the Zonai were a race in the sky, that somehow... Well, here's the question, right? How did the Zonai die? And my theory is they freaking killed themselves. Like, somehow they must have destroyed themselves in the era between Demise and Skyward Sword. The Zonai created a civilization and then mutually assured destruction to each other. Like, maybe they nuked each other. Maybe technology went too far. So, that's fun. Yeah, new races show up and that's not a problem, but they do act like the Zonai are the most important people to have ever existed ever, and like, that's cool, and I like Rauru, but like, man, is he a Mary Sue. They were considered gods, and that's why a lot of people are like, oh, what if Din, Furore, and Nehru, the original goddesses, were actually Zonai, and they showed up and created the Triforce, and then they turned into dragons, and I'm like, that's giving so much credit to the Zonai. Why are we doing this? Rip the Sheikah, yeah, so which is why the theory that Aaron and I were speaking about earlier, the theory that the Sheikah are descendants of the Zonai makes a lot of sense to me. And this also explains why Zelda can be descended from Rauru and Sonia, and also descended from Hyrule, like, Sun, you know, and all the other, Sun, it's like this Zelda from Skyward Sword, yeah. Because, like, maybe Zelda's part Sheikah. Like, that would be really cool, because she is kind of like a research, you know, like, she was into the whole Guardian thing and, like, wanted to get things done. So that's my specific theory there. Yeah, exactly. And this, we were talking about this too, yeah. Like, did Sonia have a kid? Like, she must have. So apparently, before Sonia died, apparently she must have had a child. So Zelda has seen this child, whoever they are. And, like, or else, like, Minoru had a kid after the events, but I don't think so, because she doesn't give any indication of that. There are a lot of creation myths that say we're the best ever. Rauru thinking that of the Zonai is not surprising, but it's not Rauru thinking that of the Zonai. It's more like everyone thinks that of the Zonai, and Rauru is like, yes, I am the best. Because, you know, he is Zonai. Zonai cloning technology. This explains why Zelda and Link look so similar over the different games. I reject your reality and substitute it with my own. Please don't. No, don't do it. Why would you do this? Zelda has every bloodline. Zelda is Elrond. Heck yeah. The Zonai are also not that well known to Minoru and Rauru. Yeah, I mean, like, they're like the last of their race. But, you know, they are Zonai, so I'm not sure what you mean. Like, they know themselves. They do know they exist, right? The Sheikah's most important mention in this game is that one of them runs a school. Oof. Oof, it's a hard knock life. You're right, though. Goddamn. The Sheikah's most important mention in this game is the fact that Purah is really freaking hot, okay? Like, come on, look at this girl. Wait, I'm only showing her legs, that's kind of awkward. Okay, look at this girl. If they were so great, why are they all dead? I'm telling you, technological advancements, they killed themselves.
Just
they
like
did
we're
this to
about
themselves.
do to ourselves.
Oof, yeah, exactly. As Dust says. Beware, folks. Beware. They have mentioned that they do not know much about their people. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like the Zonai were killed off mostly before, like, Rauru and Sonia's generation. Who are their parents? Where did they come from? Where are your parents? What is with this sassy lost child? Ganondorf punched Sonia in the spine and the baby went flying out. That's... Oh my gosh. What a way to exist.
Shit right there.
What a time to be alive. Yeah, that's real weird. I'm not even gonna bring up JoJolian, but yeah, I just want the Lineru Mines to be a Zonai creation because that makes me feel better about the Zonai being important. It also makes a lot of sense because Demise has to be connected to get into this thing somehow, so. The real question is, how did all the weapons armor sets from the previous eras appear in the depths? Ooh, good one. I think, potentially, that all of those were placed there afterwards. As in, like, the depths have been added to over the years. When things get lost underneath eras of Hyrule, when the kingdom gets burnt on top of, you know, some weird natural disaster and then built again, then things sink into the ground. Over time in the mines, things were formed. But yeah, no, I think the best timeline theory so far is just that there's a convergence of timelines. I currently give the credit to the convergence to the Warriors games. I think Hyrule Warriors is the convergence of timelines, and then after that, all of these events happen. Like the Zonai showed up afterwards, etc., etc. Items are not canon. How could you have the Master Sword and the Goddess Sword at the same time? Is the Goddess Sword in the game? Fair enough. Actually, wait, you could. It would be different timelines, because, you know, there was a convergence. Although, I guess Skyward Sword happened in all timelines. Maybe in one of those situations, the Goddess Sword got reverted. Like, or the Master Sword reverted to the Goddess Sword.
I was expecting more Shakespeare, but... Pathetic little fool! Do you realize who you're dealing with? I am Ganondorf, and soon I will rule the world.
Perfect. Just as menacing as he's always been.
Yes. Always.
Always. You know, I was kind of questioning at first when they...
want more Shakespeare? God, no.
God, no. Is it harder to ooh Shakespeare or Ganon? Let's hear it from the source themselves.
The source.
It's you. You're the source. You're the ooh source.
It's harder to ooh Shakespeare because Shakespeare's already in weird English. So putting ooh on top of that makes it extra weird English.
Understandable. Have a nice day. Some of the constructs on the Sky Island say things like, it's been a while since anyone has come to this island. True. But if the upheaval raised the islands out of the ground, then they weren't islands. Well, yeah, but the constructs know that they're islands. Like, they've still been there. It's not like they were asleep the whole time. They know that. Have the Sky Islands been in the sky this entire time and then descended downwards to where they were reachable? Yes, right? Like, I feel like that was confirmed, because I think one of the little statue thingies talks about Minoru, coming up with the technology and helping the four sages get every island into the sky. I feel like that was a thing. Well, the upheaval didn't necessarily just raise the castle. I mean, like, it did, but it probably also lowered a bunch of sky islands and also dropped a lot of things onto, you know, the map. That's kind of the problem, right? What has caused the islands to descend? I always assumed that it was a timer. And this is where the largest plot hole of Tears of the Kingdom happens. Because if Zelda went back in time, like 10,000 years, and talked to Minoru and was like, hey, there's gonna be danger in the future, we have to prepare for it, why did she not help out the champions when they died 100 years ago? That's the main question. Nothing solves this. This is the only thing that I haven't been able to solve with any of the timelines because it literally just doesn't make sense. Tears of the Kingdom is a great game, but it sure breaks apart when you consider that it has to happen in the same universe as Breath of the Wild. God damn. Like, there's no reason Zelda shouldn't have saved the champions. It kind of sucks, honestly, that Zelda did not... No, I mean, like, listen. This means Zelda made a conscious decision to not save the champions. Zelda was like, ah, frick that Mipha. She was a rival for me anyways. Like, I wanted to get with Link, so good riddance. I mean, the whole thing about the Zelda series is that in order for it to make sense, you have to kind of ignore some small details. This is a thing that's been happening since the earliest games. It's fine. So we can assume, like, yeah, we can assume some timey-wimey bullshit. We can assume that potentially the game works like... so maybe there's something that stops Minoru from, like, lowering the islands until, like, some number of years in the future. Who knows? Maybe Ganon's power has to weaken or some shit. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense, though.
Weird time shit.
If the champions were saved, she wouldn't have been there in the first place. Not necessarily. If the champions were saved, they would have conquered Hyrule Castle all that much easier and potentially discovered things under the ground, and they would have found the exact same series of events. Like, Tears of the Kingdom would have happened without Breath of the Wild. Like, they still would have investigated under the castle at some point. There's no way they wouldn't have. But that's fair. I mean, I guess it's like, oh, it might screw up the timeline, but we're supposed to assume that it doesn't screw up the timeline because Tears of the Kingdom follows, like, the everything is present all at once timeline theory. The more you look at the time travel, the worse it gets. How did Ganondorf know about Link or Zelda before Zelda went back in time? He didn't, though. He was told about Link. Like, I think someone was like, there's gonna be a guy named Link and he's gonna stop you or something, right? That's what I assumed. Like, I bet Rauru said that. Rauru was like, oh, there's gonna be this dude. He's gonna kill you. I promise. But it actually works if you assume any of the timeline theories that Ganondorf is connected to either Demise or to, like, the other Ganondorfs. Because in that case, he just knows because he's Ganon. Ganon always gets killed by a Link. Even the Hylia versus Demise fight, there was a Link involved, so... Yeah, Rauru did, exactly, because of Zelda. So I think that plot twist resolves itself. I think it's fine. Where is the memory when Link and Zelda go pick up the Master Sword situated, in my opinion? Wait, which one? Wait, which one? Go pick up the Master Sword? You mean like when it breaks, like at the beginning? I am confused. Did they go pick it up? They must have gone and picked it up. Memory 1. Memory 1. Is that when they... Isn't that when they break? I don't remember. So you see, the thing that I did is that I viewed all the memories in the same stream. Like, there was one stream, like, the stream prior to that, I had only seen one memory, or like maybe two. And then on that specific stream, I went and got every single memory. So I do remember them all, but I don't remember which is which, because I got them all at the same time. Takes place when they get the Master Sword before they go off to investigate the castle at the start of the game. Oh, okay. Yeah, is this like the whole... Did they ever talk to the Deku Tree? Is that what you're talking about? How many software updates did they go through? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it turns out that over time, you know, this is Minoru 3.5 or something, you know. It's only been 3.5 updates, actually. It's not been more than that. They went to visit the Deku Tree. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be before everything else. If it's Memory 1, they're in chronological order, so... Minoru isn't even on iOS. Would it be POS, which is an unfortunate acronym, but... Purah operating system? Yeah, Dust, I do think you should give Tears of the Kingdom a try, though. There's a significant mechanical engineering component. You might like it.
It did seem like more sandboxy than I would expect.
It was very sandboxy. It was so cool.
It was so strange to me, but...
People were calling it Korok's space program for a reason. Knowing Purah, that would be intentional. Purah's like, alright, we're giving it a name. It's gonna be really bad, but it's okay, because no one's gonna actually appreciate the acronym for what it means. And Link is just standing there with like a deadpan gaze, like, frick you. Speaking of her, this looks amazing. Oh, thanks, I appreciate it. Heck yeah. I only mean to do Purah the, wait, hold on. To give Purah the respect she deserves. That's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. To be fair, Link is always standing with a deadpan gaze. Why must you be like this? You know what? I'll give you that. Sonic has emotions. Wind Waker Link does have emotions. I'll give... Okay, Wind Waker Link, maybe like Spirit Tracks Phantom Hourglass Link.
The Toon Links have emotions.
The Toon Links have emotions, I agree.
Regular Link is a blank character.
Breath of the Wild Link is almost impressively impassive, like... Skyward Sword Link has two emotions. One of them is, like, mildly passive, and the other one is screaming in terror, because that's... To be fair, the screaming in terror is great.
My two emotions as well.
Wonderful. But nothing can beat the look of absolute disdain that, like, Wind Waker Link and Phantom Hourglass Link and Spirit Tracks Link give their respective, like, comedy characters. Like, it's just so good. One of your friends called Link a vegetable the other day. I mean, that's actually canonically true. Like, I guess he was a vegetable for 100 years. We really can't say anything against that. It's true.
Wow.
I mean, he was, though. Have you seen this man cook? He is the vegetable now. When Link gets cooked in the desert sands, he is the vegetable. Skyward Sword Link has more facial expressions and shows more feelings. Okay, fine. I'll add one expression to the Skyward Sword Link repertoire, which is absolute love for Zelda. He's a cute boy. Oh. You can see like that. He really cares. You can see it on his face sometimes. Okay. I'll give you that. All right. And then terror, you know, he's got that too. Skyward Sword Link has to, like, it's not intentional on Skyward Sword Link's part, okay? Because he, you see, he's the Link that gets sassed by the most people. So he has to kind of, like, keep something up. Or else the game is just everybody in the entire game shitting on him. Says Zelink, best Zelink. Excuse me, Spirit Tracks Zelink, best Zelink. Also, I should probably go to my Zelink drawing at some point. I'll finish this Purah first. I'm still missing the Oracle games and then the original games, and I really want to play them. Really, really want to play them. After I finish Octopath, that might be next on my list.
Have you not finished Octopath?
I have. I finished Octopath. There is one secret boss that I have yet to fight, and I am looking forward to fighting it. It is incredible. I am so glad that secret boss exists. Some of you saw me walk into the room where that secret boss is there, and even the hallway before it, I recognized it, and I was like, oh, nope, 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 and then I kept going. I was like, I know what's gonna be at the end of this, and I got to the actual thing, and I'm like, nope, and then I noped right the frick out of there. Okay. It was terrible. I have heard it's extremely difficult. I have not yet grinded for it, which is why I haven't done it yet, but I will be at some point. So, like, it's not like a whole game, it's just one fight. It's one fight that I may try multiple times. What's next on your list, Dust, by the way?
Sonic Frontiers.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Right, of course. How could I forget?
How could you forget?
How could I?
Sonic Frontiers.
Sonic.
Sonic Frontiers. That's not how the song goes.
It is the Sonic. Should really go back to streaming Oracle of Ages. Oh yeah, you were doing that, right? Did you end up finishing it? I really want to play it, not just because, you know, I want to finish off the Zelda series, but also because that's like, Oracle of Ages and Seasons are essentially the only games I'm missing with a significant enough story that it's like detracting from my knowledge of the timeline. Like, I need to... I need to know. If I had to choose a Zelda game to replay, though, it would 100% be Phantom Hourglass. That game is too good.
You played that game so many times, though.
Wait, no, I haven't. I played it once.
Oh, you played it once, and
but
just,
that
like,
once lasted like 2 years.
50
Yeah.
years, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have strategies for... I agree that the Octopath fight is going to be extremely difficult. I have some strategies for it. I think they're kind of the well-known strategies. I would assume that most people use the combination of, like, Alpione's Amulet and, like, Throne A for the AoE. Like, I would assume that that's going to be there. Probably, like, the Temenos nuke, too. I did one thing right, which is that I saved every single one of my nuts for the end. In the game of Octopath Traveler, nuts give you permanent stat boosts. So I can kind of, like, mess with my army before sending it into the final bite. I've got some ideas.
Always save up them nuts.
Yeah, there's actually an attack in Octopath 1 called These Nuts.
Oh, great.
Like, they know. It's not unintentional.
Cool.
Remember for the life of me being able to draw an hourglass well enough for the final boss. No, that's... Oh, come on, the game preps you! You have to draw an hourglass so many times in that game. There's no way you get all the way to the final boss without being able to do that quick stab hourglass draw.
Do you sweep still? Wait, do not be so hasty, boy. I can see this girl... Goals, dreams, oceans, 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 oceans as far as the eye can see. They are vast seas, none can swim across them. They yield no fish to catch. What did the king of Hyrule say? That the gods sealed Hyrule away, and they left behind the people who would one day awaken Hyrule. How ridiculous. For many pathetic creatures scattered across a handful of islands, drifting on this sea like fallen leaves on... What is it, Lynn? Fallen leaves on what?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Which of the Ganons is this? Who is this? Wind Waker?
I'm assuming this is Wind Waker.
Okay, I assumed Wind Waker too, but like, yeah. Ganon says all that shit? What? I don't remember that. Like, it had to be Wind Waker Ganon, but like, whoa, my child brain does not remember that speech.
Like, fallen leaves on the sorry, I'll finish it the rest of
it. Oh yeah, now I need to know,
like,
yeah, what's the
fallen leaves on a forgotten pool. What can they possibly hope to achieve? Don't you see, all of you? Your gods destroyed you.
Damn. Ganon pulling out the big guns. Wind Waker Ganondorf is a whole-ass philosopher. He kind of is. I gotta give him credit for this. Wind Waker Ganon was actually one of the better Ganons, in my opinion. They did his thing well. He kind of comes off as, like, old and tired, and, like, he cared about the Gerudo race, and things didn't go well for him, and now he's, like, fighting the hero, and he's like, ah, frick it. And the hero's like 12, so...
Well, I guess I gotta beat up this 12-year-old now.
Yeah, he's like, I guess I gotta beat up this 12-year-old now. Pretty much, actually. Like, it leaves him in an awkward spot, the poor man, you know? He's gotta kidnap Zelda, right? But he doesn't know what she looks like in this era, so he's like, alright, I guess, like, just go find me blonde girls with, you know, pointy ears. And that, you know, happens to count a lot of people in there, so... Yep. So he just got this room in his castle with like a bunch of blonde girls with pointy ears. Talking a lot of shit for a man getting turned to stone. Talking a lot of shit for a man getting stabbed in the forehead with a sword. So the Linked Universe fandom has already thought about this, but imagine how Skyward Sword Link would feel after knowing that Wind Waker Link left Fi inside Ganondorf's forehead for all of eternity at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh.
Kinda sucks. Don't you hate it when your best friend gets used as a pedestal? Just happens. Officer, it's nothing weird, I promise. I promise this room full of blonde, pointy-eared girls there's nothing going on here. And the officer's like, they're all children too, and he's like, it's fine, I swear.
They're being fed,
They're actually treated pretty well, TBH. Like, you go rescue them later, right? And they're all like, yeah, okay, like, we've been okay here. Also, one of the best things about that game is that Link's sister is the one you're actually rescuing.
Right, yeah.
And, like, Zelda's fine. Like, Zelda's chillin'. I hope they do that more, because that was great. Ganondorf arriving to the southern parts of America. Oof. So much stuff feels wrong the instant you consider the fact that the sword is alive. I feel like the Wind Waker head stabbing is probably the worst moment, but surprisingly enough, and I've talked about this before, we actually have not used the Master Sword more, like, the Master Sword doesn't get used all that much. Like, I know a lot of people give the Master Sword credit, and yes, it has been there since Game 3. But, like, surprisingly enough, yeah, it's not too many actual uses of the Master Sword. I wrote out a whole essay for this, actually. It's on the Discord. Because I think Errant asked a long time ago, like a few months ago, Errant asked, or someone asked, why does Fi not talk to the Lynx? And I was like, I can come up with a reason for each game. And I think I did. More things that I should make videos for, and I should do that. I see a Purah. There is indeed a Purah. She's telling you to check it, so you'd better check it. If you don't check it, you're gonna get checked.
What am I checking?
I don't know. We have no idea. That's the eternal mystery of the game. Forget what happened to the Zonai, forget why didn't Zelda save the champions. It's like, what are we checking? No. Damn it. Colored sin. The Locomo sword has Fi in it as well, but she just has a nice little conductor hat. Yeah, and the 4 sword has Fi in it as well, but it's just 4 Fis. There's one of each color. That would be great. Do you have any idea how many guts have been fused on this sword? That stuff's gonna be stuck in Fi's hair for I want to draw that.
Oh my god.
I want to draw that. Maybe not the guts, but like just a casual banana like fused to the top of her head. Or like bees. For those of you who weren't there for my final fight with Ganon, I very specifically had one goal, which was I was gonna unleash the bees upon Ganon, and I did, and it was fun. But he killed them! He killed my bees! It didn't work. I wanted revenge for Barry. Some people were here back in the Barry days, right? In Barry the Bee days, and I don't mean just the Bee movie, I mean the ALTTP Barry.
Yes, the MVP.
The MVP, yeah. I did actually bring back the bees this time. It was great. Recommend.
Bees.
You fused the Goddess Blade to the Master Sword for the final fight. Is that double Fi? Just, you know, casually. It's all good. I'm sorry, Revenge, you're the one who betrayed him. Excuse me? No, it's fine. We left him with the beekeeper in the Dark World. It's all good. He lived a happy life. He was there in the credits. You were there for this shop, please. Please. Revisionist history. It's all good. Yeah, there were no problems with it. We totally treated Barry the way he was meant to be treated, okay? We left him with the people that would love him and care for him as we went to fight the final boss. Because we had no choice. You know, we couldn't risk Barry. We had to bring his cousin Gary along instead because Gary was a stronger bee. He was there! He was there in the final boss. He was, or not in the final boss, in the final credits. He was there.
In the credits, yeah.
Yeah, he was there. He was like floating around. He was chilling. Did you treat him like you treated Jeremy? No, we ate Jeremy alive. I can't lie about that.
Sorry, what? Who is this?
So Jeremy was my boon companion from Octopath Traveler, by which I mean like some random animal that I captured. Cause I forgot to explain. Dust in Octopath Traveler, there's essentially Pokemon too. Like you can capture animals, except it's way darker because you can also cook and eat them, like the same animals. Yeah, so 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 I captured this, like, I think it was a woodland birdie in 4 or something from like a very early level of the game, but it happened to have like an AoE double lance hit attack, which is decently powerful. So I kept it until very late game. And then I found a frog that did the same thing.
Right.
And I assumed it would be better. So I cooked and ate Jeremy.
So Jeremy was exploited and then eaten?
Yes.
Why was it named Jeremy?
I don't remember who suggested. Was it Marshall? Marshall, was it you? Someone suggested Jeremy. I asked, what do we name this person? And like, we got multiple answers, but the first one was Jeremy. It was you, wasn't it? Yeah. See? No, Barry was treated well. Barry lived a happy life among the home and family of the bee kid. So it's all good. Smoke and mirrors? No smoke and mirrors here, except for the smoke that you would use to put bees to sleep as you leave them with the person that will treat them better than you ever can. It's all good. Yeah, I promise, I was a responsible bee owner. Very responsible, yes. In Tears of the Kingdom, they all died, though. Once again, I can't lie about that. They did straight up die. But Ganon killed them, so I got revenge.
You think bees are just weapons for you to use?
I mean, yes.
Fight for bee justice.
For bee rights. Wait a minute, this is just a plot to the bee movie. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You mean oh yes.
God damn it. Rip bees? No, the bees are living happy lives somewhere. Or at least Barry is. And Gary too, he's also living a happy life. The other bees fought and died by my side, and so they too deserve hallowed ranks amongst the people of, I don't know, I guess. They get the same fate that happened to the champions, okay? Like, whatever happened to, like, Mifa, that happened to the bees. They defeated Ganon, you know?
To all known laws of aviation.
Hey, someone redeemed it. I was wondering. I was like, how long is it gonna take?
No way that a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground.
So this is untrue, right?
Of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. It is untrue.
Yeah, okay, alright, good to know. I was like, like, I'm pretty sure bees don't break physics, right? Right, folks? Right? All I remember is me beating Ganondorf wearing the right clothes. It was important. It was very important. You have to look stylish as you kill the final guy. You know, it's
okay.
Triforce Heroes taught me that. Okay, I had to represent.
Right.
It was a hard decision too.
You gotta be in a pretty princess dress while you defeat the supervillain.
That's actually unironically Triforce Heroes. Yeah, so fair enough.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. Good reference. Good reference. Princess dresses are important in Triforce Heroes. You wore the right clothes until the final phase where you put on the skydiving set. Best set in the game, hands down. What, the skydiving set? You think the skydiving set is the best set in the game? Suspicious. I have now methodically explored the entire Sky Islands. I've done everything on the sky. And with that knowledge, I can say I don't think the skydiving set's that great. Like, it's okay, but you could easily get somewhere with the machine faster than you can by skydiving. Or, like, you can get somewhere better than you can with the skydiving suit. The owl mask is cool, I guess. I would say the light suit is the best, except for the fact that I don't like the helmet on it. I also don't like the helmet on the battery suit. Yikes. What do I even like? Frick.
Nothing.
Nothing. None of the suits. I haven't unlocked everything yet, though. Oh, I picked up the Fierce Deity mask. I was playing with my friend,
There's a Fierce Deity mask?
Yeah, they have it's from, yeah, like the Majora's Mask. It's so good! It's so cool! I hope they have more of that outfit, because, I freaking love Majora's Mask. It's my favorite Zelda game. I want to see Link's pretty face. Kinda, yeah. Like, come on, man. He's hot. I'm just saying. He's androgynously hot. No matter what sexuality you are, you can appreciate Link.
I remember when Breath of the Wild was first announced and they thought they had made Link a girl finally, but...
Oh, actually? Really? I'd believe that. Same? Same for the fact that you thought Link was a girl? At that point, I had seen enough anime men. I was like, alright, this is still a guy. You have not found a single piece of the Zonai set. You mean the light set, don't you? Like the mining set? The Zonai mining set? Oh, if you want hints, I can tell you what regions they're in. Because I found all of them almost immediately, but that's because I did everything very unconventionally. Oh, you mean the battery set? Okay, I can also tell you kind of a hint as to where those are, but yeah, up to you. Ask for the hint and I'll tell you, but if you don't want spoilers, that's also fine. Would talk about your feelings about Link's hotness, but we're trying to keep it PG-13.
Well,
yeah,
kinda.
we kept it very PG-13 in Sidon's world, didn't we, folks? We definitely did not say any things that were not PG-13 there.
I was so PG-13 during Hades.
Yeah, exactly. You know the feelings people have about Hades? That's the feelings people have about Sidon in Breath of the Wild.
He's a fish man, but also I guess I dated a bad girl, so... Okay.
You wanted to get stepped on by Meg, but then again, I would have definitely been, like, murdered by Dan. I would have been okay with that, so you're okay. I can't even judge you.
Okay, first of all, Dan's the bottom.
No, excuse me, Zag is like an ultimate bottom.
Oh, that's true, that's true.
Zag bottoms everyone.
Would have been bottom if not for Zag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If not
right.
for Zag, I'll give you that, yes.
Yeah.
Dan is like a switch at best.
In the context of the game and the character you're playing, yes.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Wait,
we're
penultimate.
PG.
Who's the ultimate?
Yep. PG stands for pretty gross.
PG. Dust, I don't think you were there for the Sidon realm in this game, but for context,
I don't
it's...
think so, no.
Okay, yeah, for context, it's made even funnier by the fact that, so there's a natural phenomenon plaguing each of the 4, like, realms. Okay. And, the one that's plaguing Sidon is that, like, random filth has just been dropping from the sky. So, like...
Okay.
So you need to, like, actually literally cleanse the filth, but, like...
Okay.
And then Sidon himself has, like, the powers of water and stuff, you know, because he makes everyone thirsty for him. But, like, he also literally has the powers of water, like, it's...
Cool.
It's up to Sidon to cleanse the filth of the common populace playing Tears of the Kingdom. Have I played the Mystery of the Depth yet? I don't know what that is, so maybe not. I've fought all of the Kogas. I did that. Is that the Mystery of the Depths? Is there anywhere we can find VODs? There is indeed. I have actually just uploaded all my Zelda VODs. The entire thing is there. It's all in order, so if you want to catch in, you want to see me unleash the bees on Ganon. We did that and more. I got all of the memories in one stream, so if you want to see all the memories and me reacting to them out of order, by the way, because I got the worst, like, I got the end one first, because I didn't know there was a freaking order. So there's one that kind of recaps every other memory, and I got that one, like, pretty early on in the stream, I think. Anyways, here. It's in this. It should be just YT VODs, I think. That didn't work. Let me try that again. There we go. Yeah, so check that out. All the VODs are on there. I'll also be playing Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow. So if you want to stop by for that. I'm not done with the game yet. Not quite. I've got quite a bit of the depths. So heck yeah. Do I have auto build? Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I finished the... I guess you could finish the game without auto build. That would be difficult, but you could.
That's how it is in real life. In real life, you don't have auto build.
Dust speaking the truth. Come on, wouldn't your job be so much easier if only you had auto build?
I know.
You've yet to find the favorite part of auto build? Press Y, Marshall. Or X. The one on the side. Press the button on the side, Marshall. It automatically marks something as your favorite. Oh, if you want to scroll to it, it's at the top. Oh, sorry, what's up,
You know how I said I was doing a very complicated build right now?
Oh, yeah?
I need to build another one of those.
No! Looks like you could use auto build.
I could really use some auto build right now.
Oh, no. All you gotta do is, beat up this really funky guy who tries to serve the Dark Lord, but is honestly so ridiculous that you don't think he could do anything anyways. So you find him, you'll be fine. Just go and find him first.
Cool.
Yeah, Marshall, it's pretty much just pressing Y, I think. Good luck finding the favorites. Everyone ships Sidon and Link, even Sidon's wife. You're kind of right. It's no coincidence that there is a giant statue of Link riding Sidon in the middle of their city. On his back, don't worry about it.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's what I assumed, but also...
I'm sure you assumed that, but I just had to clarify just in case, you know.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification.
You're welcome.
It really helps.
Yeah, very, very cool of me, I know. I'm very good at this. Don't think it's fair to say Zagreus bottoms to everyone when he hangs out with Thanatos and Meg. Everyone would bottom to those two. Okay, Meg, yes. Meg is the ultimate top, like, 100%.
Yeah.
But,
Than is, if not for his...
Than's a bit of a bottom. Like, he's not... I wouldn't say... He's like a switch, I'd say. He's like...
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Like, he tops because it's
spectrum here.
Yeah.
But, like, if it were a threesome, then they would both be,
By the way, I mean, spoilers for...
said something very inappropriate.
Well, but also, like, spoilers for something potentially Hades... I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but yeah, you can... Like, the threesome is canon, by the way. I don't know if you ever got there, Dust.
I did not get there.
Oh, yeah, it's very possible, by the way, to, get them all together. Essentially, Than and Meg are both like, alright, okay, like... So you're into Zag... Yeah, you know, I'm into Zag too. Okay, yeah, sounds good. You wanna just, like, all... I bet Zag would be okay with that. Yeah, he probably would, wouldn't he?
I bet.
Apparently, if you recruit Meg first, you would know, because I think you did Meg first, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, if you get Meg first, apparently Than says that, that Meg is the one who convinced him to talk to Zagreus in the first place. That's great.
Yeah. Like, she wanted him in on this relationship.
Of course.
The kind of the worst part, I think, is so you do the deed with Meg, and then, I think, I'm not, like, quite sure, because it could be my memory eluding me, but I think, Zagreus sleeps with Thanatos before telling him that he's also done the deed with Meg.
Wait, actually, Thanatos knows, though, so it doesn't matter. So. Thanatos knows for sure.
In the end, it doesn't matter, but, like, after it, he's like, so, actually, I'm kind of, like, the thing with Meg, and he's like, yeah, I know.
I think it doesn't, like, I guess in that specific context, like, in the ancient Greek context, I think it was probably okay.
Yeah,
like, I think they were pretty open about things.
They even, like, bring it up explicitly.
Yeah.
You know, mortals
probably would feel kind of sad about that.
But, yeah.
But we don't care.
But we're fine, yeah. They, like, explicitly say that to make you feel better about this.
As someone who's always been a fan of OT3s, like, for ages and ages, I loved that. I was like, yo, wait, you mean there's a canon OT3? This has never happened before. No OT3s are ever canon. And speaking of OT3s, yeah, like, I say all the sibling shippers who are mad about Yona existing, Yona being, by the way, Sidon's wife. So Sidon has a wife now, and everyone's kind of sad about it because people wanted, like, Sidon to get with Link. But I'm a Zelling shipper. Like, first and foremost, I ship Zelda and Link. So I was like, alright, like, Sidon can have a wife, but then also, why not Sidon plus wife plus Link plus Zelda? Like, no one's stopping them. OT4.
Freaking foursome.
Go for it, bruh. Like... And, like, Mifa's just looking down from above, like, alright, I guess this is fine. My brother's sleeping with my, crush, and also this, childhood friend of hers, and also Princess Zelda? What the frick? Mifa gives them her blessing from above and then just retreats. She's like, alright. Mifa's blessing is now ready. Fellas, is it gay to have a statue of your homie riding you placed in the center of your city while you... Yeah, exactly. While you yeet your sister's statue, your dead sister, by the way. Her statue gets yeeted to the top of a mountain somewhere.
Wait, really? Oh.
Yeah, they chucked Mifa's statue up like a mountain, and they replaced it with a statue of Link riding Sidon, so...
Cool.
So I'm just saying. Sidon's been using his powers for good. We've had decades of love triangles being the cornerstone of romantic drama, so this generation has really just decided to go have a threesome already? Yeah, pretty much. There are certain love triangles where I look at them and I'm like, well, okay, here's the thing, right? An OT3 only works if all the people in the OT3 are equally okay with each other.
Sorry,
I think...
What does OT3 stand for? I don't think I've heard this.
It doesn't freaking stand for anything. It's one true pairing, but with 3 at the end.
Oh, cool. Okay, got it.
Yeah, no,
it rhymes with OTP.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
It is very much not a proper term. But yeah, no, like, I'm just saying, right? Like, I mean, sometimes, so I've talked to one person in real life who was like, yeah, I was in like a 3-type polyamorous thing back then. But like, then I kind of realized, you know, like, maybe I'm not fit out for this whole 3-person thing. And then I asked him to describe the relationship more. And it turns out that essentially one of the people was kind of just using him as a cover for like the fact that they were dating someone that their parents considered less desirable. And I was like, dude, that's not, I mean, like, I hate to like devalue your relationship, but like, but I think I have to warn you here. Like, this is not. So this is like a common misconception, apparently, that like OT3s are possible when you have a love triangle. The problem with the love triangle is that the 2 people at the edges of the love triangle don't like each other. That's the issue.
Yeah.
You gotta also like each other. A royal foursome. Now that is some revisionist history. Is it though? Is it? The true history lies in the friends we made along the way. And the fish we screwed along the way. Ooh. See, I would like Meg. I do like Meg, but I would like Meg more, but she reminds me a lot of a specific character from Ace Attorney that I didn't like as much. Whereas Thanatos reminds me of a specific character from Ace Attorney that I really like.
Oh, yes, I do know this, yeah.
Legendary Axe guessed Karma, and you're completely correct. Yeah. I went into freaking Hades, and I was like, this is just Phoenix Wright, Miles Edgeworth, and Franziska von Karma together in a game, except they're all Greek gods now. The idea of a love triangle is founded on competition for the point of the triangle, so it's hard to make them an OT3. Exactly! Which is why every now and then when I find like a good OT3 amongst like, I don't know, some characters in the middle of somewhere, I'm like, yo! 3 characters who know each other equally well and could totally work in a 3-way relationship? Nice, good for them, heck yeah. I'm very much the sort of person who's like, I'm not gonna judge. Like, you wanna stay yourself the whole time? Heck yeah, go for it. You wanna have, like, 15 people in your relationship? Heck yeah, go for it. As long as it's healthy, you're not hurting anyone, do whatever, man. Do what makes you feel good. I ain't gonna judge.
Yeah, unless it's illegal.
Unless it's illegal, yes. Unless one of the people is not consenting, in which case, back the frick off, I will fight you. Speaking of Ace Attorney, have you seen the news? I have not. What news? What am I missing? Oh, they're getting remastered. Okay. I was like, there's no new one, right? Because if there was, I'd play it immediately.
Oh my god.
Apollo Justice Trilogy. Those are some bold words. Those are some fighting words. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that, but I'm just saying certain people would, that is what they're calling it. They're actually calling it that? What? No way. Have the riots begun yet? I can't believe it. Wait, hold on. Check it. Yeah, it's games 4, 5, and 6. I mean, what else would it be? Yeah, for sure. No, it's funny because, you know, Athena is supposed to be the protagonist of Game 5. It's just no one really counts her as one. It's a hard knock life. Imagine being the protagonist of a game and people still consider you to be a second fiddle to a guy who's, like, not even any of the cases. Like, you straight up don't play as Apollo. Oh, wait. Do you play as Apollo? No, you don't play as Apollo, right? You do at the end? You do? I thought it was Athena and then straight to Phoenix. For the final case? Really? No, you don't. No, you definitely don't, because that's when, okay, this is not really a spoiler, but that's when Apollo leaves, for reasons. So how would you play as him, right? Also, to anyone, oh gosh, here's the best chance I have to promote that thing. Oh gosh, I don't know what it's called. Okay, there's some Tumblr user called ModMad, okay? And I always, so to preface this, I never really liked Dual Destinies because the ending didn't make sense to me. I was like, what the frick is going on here? Like, there's so many plot holes. But some person, their name is ModMad on Tumblr. It's been like 5 years since I've read this short comic. but what it does is it recaps the ending of Dual Destinies and then adds like a whole thing that perfectly summarizes all of the themes of Dual Destinies while giving it a way more satisfying ending than the actual game does. So if anyone here was like a little bit unsatisfied by the ending, like I love the twist, don't get me wrong, the twist was great, but the ending was like, okay, you definitely did that just to make the twist work. If you ever feel like that, look up ModMad on Tumblr. Recommend.
Alright.
Good stuff. I have no affiliation with this person, by the way. I have no idea who they are. It's just they have a really, really good wrap-up for Dual Destinies. Okay, where's the glasses? Ah. Yeah. 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 There. The DD ending is just a worse version of the JFA ending. Secret Hitman. I liked the JFA ending, but I'm not gonna spoil anything. The Dual Destinies ending is great. Like the plot is, the crime. No, okay, the climax is good. The climax is really good. The plot twist is great. I loved it. It's one of the few ones I didn't see coming at all. But the ending was like, eh. Imagine having a pocket fanfic author that just happens to write everything you want. Oof. Ain't that just AI?
Oh.
Need one of those for Adelquad. For me, it's me, by the way. If I see a fanfic that I want written, I write it myself, and then I kind of just keep it to myself. I've written so many Zelda fics at this point. Alright, there we go. Finally, I get to work on lights and shading.
You should have a sub-goal where you read your private fanfiction.
My private fanfiction? It's gonna be, like, straight up, like, actual freaking gameplay stuff. Like,
this is true, yeah.
Y'all underestimate.
I know you wouldn't write anything, like, incriminating.
Yeah, like, I promise you, there is nothing incriminating in any of my fanfic. It's like the hero of legend goes through the Palace of the Four Swords again and faces intense trauma. Like, that's what it is. And he brings the hero of warriors along because, you know, that's even more trauma. And the hero of the Four Swords because even more trauma. Angst all the way.
There's only two kinds of fanfic. There's incriminating fanfic and there's angsty fanfic.
Well, there's also the third kind, which is just like fluff, but like I don't read those.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, I mean you could have fluff, right?
This is true. That's why it's called fluff. It's just fluff.
It's just fluff. Yeah. I mean it's good though. It's not bad. I don't like fluff.
That's true.
But I don't read it usually. Waited 3 PlayStations for a Persona 3 remake and they are still refusing to make it a definitive Ultimate Edition. What does that mean? Like, does it change anything for something to be a definitive Ultimate Edition? Does it make it better? Oops.
Definitive Ultimate Edition?
Ultimate Definitive Edition. The ultimatest of definitive. Is FEMC the abbreviation for female main character? Or Fire Emblem main character? Ho ho.
Or Iron main character.
Or Iron main character, yeah. Apparently, here's a fun fact for all the Fire Emblem fans in the house. Apparently, the in-game file names for the Fire Emblem games are coded as like Iron 1, Iron 2, etc., because FE is the symbol for iron. Like, this is the thing.
Somebody was a nerd.
Somebody was a nerd. I mean, in the Fire Emblem franchise, can you, like, I expect that.
True.
I expect that from Fire Emblem fans. And Fire Emblem creators, in this case. Yes, Lynn, there are 3 versions of Persona 3. Why are there 3 of them? What? Why? Oh, wait, there are 3 versions of Fire Emblem 14. Okay, fair enough. Alright, I've been countered by myself. Wait, who was the person that was getting mad at the fact that I don't know what SMT is? Can someone explain what SMT is? Shin Megami Tensei is that one game that shows up in Fire Emblem Heroes.
Okay.
I'm very Emblem brain. I do want to play Persona. I've heard very good things about the series. Dust, have you played Persona?
I have not.
Okay. Oh, right, because we talked about this. Because it's in the lectures for the class that you used to teach. Yeah. Persona's good. Oh, it was you, Legendary Axe. Yeah. I straight up don't know. I do not know these things. One day I will play the game and then I will know. Then the things will be known. But it is not this day! This day I build strange machines and explore the depths. One of the versions had it possible to play as a girl as the main character, and she's a fan favorite, but they aren't adding her in the remake. Oh, that is bad. That is screwed. Yeah, see, the Fire Emblem series does that. As in, like, they don't, I guess they don't, like, money keep your characters, at least. But they do have, like, girl and guy players, and in each game, there's, like, a very clear, better avatar. And it changes, too. It's not like the girl is always better or the guy is always better. Like, like you can kind of tell.
That one of them received more love.
Well, more like one of them is just a better freaking character. I don't know why the difference is so stark, but I think I can kind of point one out for each of the Fire Emblem MCs, and I think most people actually agree. Like, male Robin is just better than female Robin, and everyone knows it. Except for the girls who played Fire Emblem specifically to romance Chrom. Like, if you have that going for you, then yes, I guess you can't. But even in that case, like, male Robin's conversation with Chrom, even if he can't marry him, his conversation is way more meaningful than girl Robin gets. If SMT isn't an idle game, then what is it? I need to know. Like, what do they do? I don't know. I have no idea. I've never played any idle games, guys. I'm a tactical game player. I have, like, less experience in the idle game front than someone who's never played any idle games. Or wait, no, than someone who's never played any games at all is what I meant to say.
Wait, idol or idol?
Idol? Like IDOL, like singers?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Shin Megami Tensei is an RPG series. Ah, that goes back to the NES days. I had no idea.
I think, Orange really likes Shin Megami Tensei, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think Orange loves Persona too, which makes sense because apparently Persona is a spin-off from SMT. I had also no idea of that.
I think I know that only because
Orange likes it
for so long. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now that I think about it, why do we have so many people named after colors in our...
Why not?
They're all separate people too, like...
Well, Orange's, name is...
That's true, Orange chose his name.
Yeah.
And Azure technically chose...
Name.
Yeah. Azure chose her name.
This is true.
Technically.
Kinda, yeah.
Like, not for herself, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I chose Green's name, by the way. And Green is named after the Pokemon character Green. He kind of looks like him.
Oh, okay.
You've seen Green once, but you may not remember this, Dust.
I don't think I remember.
Ah, that's fine. Oh, Green was the person with me on the trip to Japan.
Okay.
That's
I
Green.
know who that,
Yeah, I just realized I can give you a... I can give you a non-spoiler. Megami Tensei is based on a novel and predates Pokemon with the collectible monster gimmick. Oh, you mean this was the original Pokemon? What the hell? You mean it wasn't Octopath Traveler? No, I'm kidding. I played Octopath Traveler. It's a dungeon crawler RPG. Okay, alright, fair enough. Huh, I don't think I've played any proper dungeon crawlers, now that I think about it. Probably should do that.
Dungeon crawler?
Yeah. Another version of Persona 3 had an epilogue that expanded in the base game's ending and provides more closure, but they won't be adding that either. Oof. This is starting to sound like the whole Tactics Ogre debacle. By which I mean, a lot of people really liked Reborn, and so did I, by the way. I thought it was a great game. But a lot of other people were like, yo, this is not LUCT, and I just wanted LUCT. Like, they remade the game, but at what cost was what a portion of the fan base was saying, apparently. I have not played Let Us Cling Together, so I can't compare them. But some people were pretty vocal about that, so... I'm assuming it was significant. The fact that Chrom can shotgun wedding you will never fail to amuse me. Bro. Bro, Chrom can marry a village maiden. Like, if you fail to give Chrom any meaningful relationships with any woman in the entire army, he marries a random villager. and you get a stat-screwed Lucina who's just kind of not useful for anything. Like, it takes actual effort to get Chrom to marry the village maiden, but you can do it. The collectible monsters are called demons, based on mythology. Ooh, okay. And pop culture, nice. Can encounter them in the baseline games and add them to your RPG party. Huh. Oh, okay. Persona's gimmick was, what if the demons were the stands of teenagers? Oh, I've seen some of the Persona things, so that makes sense. Okay, gotcha. That's kind of cool.
Oh man, Banana Guy Bob. Their dad is shouting so loud at a basketball game that they can hear him clearly up one floor and through 2 closed doors. That's rough. That's rough, buddy.
Oof, that is rough. Actually, fun fact about the place I live in, the walls are like really thin for some reason, and it's also super echoey. Yeah. So for example, I can currently hear...
That place is echoey.
I can hear my roommate Sunshine shouting from downstairs. Not for any particular reason, she's just calling someone, but I can hear her doing that. She's not calling me, though. She's calling one of the others. Heck yeah. I am free. No, I'm kidding. Let's make Lynn play SMT3 as her first game. That'll go well, I'm sure. Is that like a bad one? Is that what that is? You can't make me play SMT3 before I've played Persona. I gotta play Persona first.
Well, apparently SMT came first.
Yeah, but I mean, like... popularity. And also, I like what I've seen of the Persona series, whereas I haven't had the chance to look into SMT yet, so... maybe I'll change my mind after looking into it. Who knows? Yeah, they're brutally hard.
This is a way
okay.
for you to play Pokemon.
I'm not playing Pokemon on stream. It's not worth.
Like you like the idea of Pokemon, but don't like the animal aspect of it. So here's a Pokemon game with people.
Well, I mean that's Fire Emblem.
Oh, fair, yeah.
I don't need SMT for that. Pokemon with humans? That's just FE, bruh.
Collect them all.
Also, I think in SMT, the Pokemon are monsters. Like, they're, like, kind of demon-type creatures, right? I would assume.
I guess they're, like, creatures.
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
like,
human.
super disturbing versions of their... I actually...
They are?
I don't know. There's definitely some weird demons, I think.
Oh, okay.
Like weird, trippy ones.
That would make sense. My only other knowledge of Persona/SMT is someone ages ago did fan art for all of the Fire Emblem characters where they drew a persona for each Fire Emblem character or something, I think. Lynn would love fusion, and then True says Mara and Marshall shouts no. I'm not gonna ask. Don't spoil whatever it is for me, but what? I am now confused. You could see me spending 50 hours in the Demon Fusion Temple. Huh. I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming what it does is it lets you fuse demons.
Confuse them too?
I didn't know that, yeah.
Suddenly Digimon.
It's just suddenly Digimon. Did Pokemon ever... I guess not, huh? Pokemon has never done that.
Have fusions.
There's a fan-made game. There's a fan-made Pokemon Fusions. Most games make it how insta-kill magic doesn't really work in most JRPGs. Oh, there's insta-kill? I don't know if that counts as hard or just like... I mean, there's some games where like it's less...
mechanics that make it work.
Maybe, yeah, probably. Probably, I'm sure. Like, I mean, technically Fire Emblem has insta-kill. There's like an assassin lethality skill, but like you can't rely on it. Yeah.
That's what I expect the insta-kill mechanic to be.
Yeah. That is one to not look up. Yeah, of course, I would not ruin things for myself. That sounds like a bad idea. I would never do that. Except for that one time while playing Path of Radiance, where I looked up one character's stats and got spoiled by like the first sentence of their paragraph introduction. Why would they put that in the first sentence? What the frick?
It's relevant.
The spoiler was relevant? No.
Absolutely.
I just wanted stat info. Lies. Lies and treachery. Favorite demon is Hecate. Ooh, I know the mythology person that's based on. Your favorite is Cuckoo Lane. Ooh, I also know the mythology person that's based on. I don't know the actual thing from this, though. I mean, I've seen Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night. Wait, there's no Hecate in Fate, is there? It's kind of weird.
Oh, is there a lot of insulting going on?
Huh?
There's a lot of insulting going on, toward the basketball game.
Wait, the basketball game?
That Banana Guy Bob's dad is yelling at.
Ah. Oh, is the team that they're picking losing? Because that's that's a little sad.
Work.
Many sad. Wait, that's how they work. The team you pick loses. SMH. Don't you hate it? Hecate's not in yet, but Fate eventually waifuizes everyone. I'm ready. I can't wait for Lord Almaloy 3. I just want them to continue the series about Waver, okay? Like, I don't actually care about the main characters of Fate at all. I don't know anything about them. I've never seen Stay Night. But I watched Fate Zero and I only cared about Waver Velvet. Dust knows I do this often. Where, like, I read a series and I'm like, wow, that was great. And people will be like, who's your favorite character? And I'm like, this rando who, like, is not important. Fate Arthur screwed no matter what. I mean, isn't the whole point of Fate that they, like, really, really waifuized King Arthur? Like, that's the whole point, right? Like, she's the main character. You're supposed to be like, wow, Arthuria is my favorite character. But unfortunately for her, I've seen other depictions of King Arthur that I liked better. So I was like, yeah, it's okay. I'll give points to Alexander the Great, and I'll also give points to Diarmuid, because I loved him. He was the only character I was paying attention to, other than, like, the whole Waver Velvet / Alexander the Great duo. And potential ship, although I don't really ship it. I think that doesn't make as much sense as a ship.
Banana Guy Bob's dad has now moved on to insulting the entire NBA system.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, literally.
Literally. Alright, lights done. Now for the camera and the action. Maybe that's what we're checking. Maybe we're checking our Sheikah slate for photos. Maybe that's it. She's the one who gives you the camera in this game and in the first game.
Oh.
Kind of. Like, she makes the camera in this game. In the first one, she just gives it to you. Or wait, no. In the first one, you start off with it, but she, like, teaches you how to use it. She's like, take a picture of me. You have found a shrine that isn't 50 miles below ground nor locked behind a side quest. You're happy. What a conundrum. I've found so many shrines and just kind of left them for later because I've been screwing around with random things instead. Like, I'll admit that because of the fact that this game is so similar to the first one, I found myself ignoring the ground often and traveling through the sky instead, or like through the depths. Which is very fun, don't get me wrong, but it does mean that I'm missing a lot of caves. Artoria is badass, but she proves that badassery by suffering a lot, and Sonic the Hedgehog is my favorite King Arthur. God damn it, Marshall, why would you do this to me?
Same.
Damn it. We were so close to achieving freedom from Sonic. We were almost there. But no.
Also,
you can never achieve freedom.
Not King Arthur, that's the thing.
Oh, he's not? What? No, I thought that's the whole point. And like Lancelot was...
No.
No?
Yeah, the objective of Sonic and the Black Knight is to kill King Arthur.
Oh. Okay, I misremembered that then. That one was for Dust. You've been given the Sonic reference. Take it and use it wisely. Same, which is why you're in pain at the final 30 shrines. Shop, do you know the trick of the depths? Like, do you know all of the tricks of the depths? There are many of them. I was actually talking to a friend recently. So I went to a friend's house on Saturday, and I was chilling there in San Francisco. And we did not go out and like hit up the city or anything like that because instead we got sidetracked by playing Tears of the Kingdom. So
Of course you did.
like I was like, oh yeah, we could like head out, you know, and like go to a bar or something. But then I was talking about the depths, and my friend was like, oh, I'm kind of scared of the depths. Like they give me anxiety, and I'm like, that's really fair. But like there are some tricks to make it easier for yourself. And yeah, there are. But I'm not gonna spoil them. Okay, you do know them. Good, good, good. You know how to do things. The ways to navigate the depths. So that's what I did actually, is that I tried to find... Obviously I'm not as far along as you are, so take my advice with a grain of salt. With a grain of Norzellian salt. But yeah, I tried to find as many... it's much more pricey salt, that's what it is. It's valuable salt. But yeah, I tried to find as many of the depth shrines as possible, or the depth light routes as possible, and then I just go to the same place in the overworld, and that gives me the shrine locations. Like I prefer exploring the depths, so I don't go the overworld route. The Fate Rotate is never going to be remade. Wait, what is this? Is this it's like a Fate Stay Night thing? Wait. Okay, there we go. Here. Just resetting my music. It's a little quiet too, I think. There we go. All you know is them corresponding one-to-one with the shrines on the surface. Oh, there is more than that. There is indeed more than that. Okay, I guess, like, this isn't really a spoiler so much as it is just, like, information about the depths. But pretty much everything in the depths corresponds to something in the world above. I think roads tend to usually be, like, route-type thingies in the depths. The map itself is inverted, so any mountains in the depths are valleys in the overworld, etc. Yeah, the tops of mountains are mines. What else? I think underneath every stable there's a Lionel or something like that, is what I've been told. There's a bunch more. Oh, water in the overworld is impassable walls in the depths. Essentially what I've been doing... Yeah. Rivers and bodies of water are inaccessible, or whatever that word is. Yeah, what I've been doing is I've been, you know, using the map above to navigate the depths, and it's so fun. It's so freaking fun. Another day in the life of you're not spelling. It's okay. Spelling is overrated. We all know it.
Spelling is overrated. With that being said, I am kind of a grammar Nazi, though.
Yeah. Understandable. I think both of us are to some extent.
Are we?
I mean, a little, right? Wait, frick. I turned off the music. Okay, it's back. Nice. Guys, I have a master's degree, I swear. Or do you?
What do you have your master's degree in?
Is history, right? Marshall, I think. Because I know you are a museum curating person. A curator, I think. If I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I see, says Shop. Well, now you know the secret of the depths. Use this knowledge wisely. History was your undergrad, master's was archaeology. Ah.
Do you understand what you're asking? We're pirates! You know, pirates! The terror of the seas! What do we get out of bringing some helpless kid along with us? I'll tell you what we get. A headache. I know how you must feel with your sister having been kidnapped.
I know exactly what this is. I knew what this was from the beginning.
Even I know this. But that doesn't have anything to do with us, now does it, Woo?
Brilliant. Spectacular. And made even better by the fact that the canon speaker of this is like a 13-year-old girl, 12 maybe. 12 at best. You have found a fish catcher. Ooh. A catcher of fish.
A fish catcher? I think those are called fishermen, but okay.
If it's a person, it's a fisherman. If it's a tool, it's a fishing rod. If it's a machine, it's that thing you get from the Yiga in the depths that, like, lightnings the water in front of you in a boat. That's a thing. It's a machine. It catches fish, but it does also kill them, but that's okay.
Killing is a form of catching.
I mean, yeah, you kill them and then you get them, you know. You wish the Elden Ring equivalent of the depths was that nice. Oh, I mean, it's harder is what I'm assuming, right? The thing about the depths in Zelda is that they, any health you lose there is decreased from your maximum HP. But there are, like, items you can use to restore it, so... I usually play, like, I try to play no damage in the depths if I can, you know, because it's more fun that way, but, Only relation to the overworld is the exits? Yeah. The Legend of Zelda series has actually had a long and storied history of making parallel worlds that are related to the original world. Starting with ALTTP's Dark World, which was, a very interesting parallel, and in my opinion, one of the best, like, parallel worlds that they've had. But yeah, they went on into, like, Lorule and all the other stuff, ALVW. Four Swords Adventures also had a Dark World, so yeah. Also, Small Lighthouse Museum Curator is a amazing job title. I think I've said this before, but I stand by that point.
Lighthouse Museum Curator?
Like, heck yeah.
That is pretty damn.
It's pretty awesome. Love the depths. The depths are really cool, but imagine... Oh, gosh, but like ALTTP. Like, I can't... The depths are cool, though. But the limited number of entrances to the depths makes them a little less good than the absolute freaking madness that is the Dark World and ALTTP. Like, they had to program that shit all the way back then. And make it work no matter where you transition over into the Dark World, it works. That's great. They literally cut down on that in Link Between Worlds. You can only transition through the cracks in the walls. Of course the Yiga wouldn't respect nature. Hey, are you being mean to the Yiga? They're intense fans of agriculture, as you can see by their hoarding of bananas. You see? They're actually, they're against global warming. They're the strangest industrialists you've ever met. Man, imagine if the underground of Elden Ring spanned the entire map like Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know how big Elden Ring is, but that sounds like it'd be pretty impossible, wouldn't it? To be fair, you can have as many entrances as you have light routes. The light routes aren't entrances. Oh, I see what you mean. You can teleport in. Fine. That don't count. That don't count. You want the Yiga and the Kongs to go to war? Dude, the Yiga would... Oh. No, you have a point. That's a fair fight. Donkey Kong versus Koga. See, that's the thing. I immediately was like, the Yiga would lose, but then again, now that I think about it, like, they're not that incompetent.
The greatest compliment you can give. They're not that incompetent.
Donkey Kong would sweep, but here's the thing, right? We're not talking Donkey Kong versus Koga, because, like, Donkey Kong wins that. But I think Koga's henchmen could potentially beat out Donkey Kong's, like, supporters. Like, I think the average Yiga... The average Yiga could potentially help out to the extent that it's not, like, an actual uneven fight. And they have machines. Like, Donkey Kong don't have... Actually, I guess... Are they allowed, like, Mario Kart items? Probably not. That would be too unfair. There would be at least 4 more entire swamp biomes in Elden Ring. Why does this start to sound like Minecraft? Swamp biomes.
Hey,
You think-
biomes exist outside of Minecraft.
No, they don't. What's the real world? I've never heard of this before. I'm kidding. I do know what this stuff means, I promise. I don't think Donkey Kong carts are better than Yiga monster trucks, purely because Yigas have unlimited battery flying machines. Like, they can snipe the Donkey Kong army from the sky, and there's kind of nothing the Donkey Kong army can do about it, except for Diddy Kong and his jetpack. Although I will say, Diddy Kong and his jetpack and his peanut gun from Smash are, like, pretty powerful. So maybe he could, like, one-shot every Yiga, but, like, they have numbers, you know? You throw bananas in the ring and they both crumble. Oh, I assumed that the point of this fight is that they were both fighting over a large pile of bananas. Yeah, like, very specifically a large pile of bananas. That's the reward. If they win, they get all the bananas.
Yeah, why else would they be fighting?
It's very strange, but the Yiga do actually really like bananas, Dust. I don't know if you're aware of this.
No, I think I've gleaned from what you've been talking about.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I wouldn't really think of it, you know? Like, why is it bananas? I never figured. This is not a reference or anything. I mean, it's not a reference to a previous Zelda game or anything. It's just they straight up like bananas, and no one knows why.
Alright, it is 8:12. Lynn, when are you getting off?
I'll be getting off, probably now-ish. I got work to do, unfortunately.
Okay.
Gotta go back to work.
I don't have work to do, but I am going to eat something. Lynn, have you eaten anything?
Oh, no, I have not eaten something. I should probably do that too.
Being consumed?
Consuming food?
Consume your food.
That's cheating. Alright, I'll go eat something. And probably finish this off later. But for now, we have got ourselves a Purah. She's telling you to check it. So don't forget to check it, folks.
Yeah, always check it.
Whatever we're checking. Very nice. And while you're checking things, check out Dust. At Dust_Rabbit. Yeah. And also check out our Discord. We got one of those over there. Dust also has one. Wait, hold on.
Check out
There's my Discord.
Lynn the Rocks.
I've also got this YouTube with a bunch of VODs on it. And then I have this YouTube that I've been meaning to put things on that I haven't yet, but like give me a subscribe if you feel like it, and then like eventually there's gonna be like videos on there. I've been so busy.
There's this YouTube that basically has nothing on it. But,
yeah, there's 3 videos and they're really cool. Sylph made them and they're awesome, by the way. I do recommend checking those out, especially if you haven't seen Link to the Past before, or if you have and really liked it, you want to see me play the game. Sylph edited together some amazing videos for me on that. So those are on there, but I haven't done anything more than that. And I've been meaning to for ages, but I keep getting busy each weekend when I set time out. Like, I was gonna do it today, or yesterday, and then I got called away for that social engagement that I didn't think of, and I was like, frick. I was gonna finally make a video. God damn it. Okay, well, I'll be free one day, and I'll finally do it. Until then, I'll be playing Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow. I'm done with the game, but I'm not done with the game. There is more to explore, and I will be exploring it. The mazes look amazing, and the depths is always, you know, they're freaking there. God damn it, Dust. I actually did intend that. That was intended. Heck yeah. But yeah, and I'll also be playing Fire Emblem for other times during the week, so tune in for that too. That's about it. That's my spiel. I'm gonna head out.
I'm gonna play Sonic Frontiers on Wednesday.
Sonic Frontiers.
What's coming?
Alright, are we rating someone?
That's a good question.
Are we rating someone? Checking to see who's online. Looks like Errant is, as usual, online. So let's just raid Errant. I'll see y'all later, folks. Bye!